Whoa. Hey. Whoa. See. Whoa. Oh, well. Hey. I from a stand up on volcano sound and I burn me ganja pipe. Babylon come and tell me that no right. Me say me burn it and pass it on the right. Me say them come in and them look under the jet. Them say, hey, natty dreadlocks, where you come from? You must have two stick of sense under your tongue. Me say no.
Now here it is. This one just an illusion, coming straight to you from the one and only KK Boy. Alongside the one who for what we know.
Now this one is a special dedication to all the man them in the Rikers Island. Cocotti and now the ranking man. Now Cocotti, come sing up.
Whoa.
The boat, the Lady Maryland, was built 22 years ago in 1986, actually right by where the Visitors Center is, around that area, and it was the second to last wooden boat built in Baltimore, in the harbor. And it was built by students for students, which is a pretty cool idea to think about, that students were actually building this boat. It wasn't, I mean, of course, there's professional help and everything like that, but that's where Living Classrooms started. And it was called the Lady Maryland Foundation, and it was building this boat as a platform, as a classroom that wasn't in the classroom. And the original mission was to take out students sailing and teach them something about the bay and sailing and the boat and what's around them. And I actually, when I was in 4th grade, went on a field trip on the boat, and I kind of remember, I took a few pictures. I don't remember actually being on the field trip, but I've always kind of heard of the boat and known of the program, and about 5 years ago was when I first started to work for the organization, and I worked on one of the smaller boats, and I loved it, and I've been back ever since, and I've kind of worked my way up. I started out as one of the deckhands on board, and then came back again the next summer as a second mate, and now went and got my Coast Guard captain's license, and now I'm the first mate. And it's just a wonderful experience teaching kids, first of all, about something that you're so passionate about, the whole crew is, and about the bay, which I grew up on, and I love it so much. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. So.
And what do you think makes you passionate about sailing?
That's a good question, because I think I just love the calmness that it brings. And I've always grown up on the water and sailing, and we kind of grew up for a while with a boat. And just being out on the water is something that you don't get anywhere sitting in an office or, you know, doing anything I've found very similar. There's just something about it where kind of brings peace and quiet, but also a great knowledge base that has such a history to it. I majored in Latin and Greek, and just watching their transformation of their ships and how it is such a deep history to the whole thing that you don't, you know, I haven't really found that we carry through like we do here on a traditional schooner.
On this wooden boat, tall ship, because, well, we're out to have a good time. I really enjoy sailing, and I'm happy to be here. The weather was a little iffy this morning, and now it's pretty.
Cool job.
Yeah. How long have you been working on the boat?
I've been working on the boat for 5 years, and this
Okay.
is my 3rd year as full-time captain.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And what do you enjoy about sailing?
Getting away from it all. We don't have any stoplights. We don't have any news media. And you just get to get your mind off of the everyday stuff. Just you in the water and everything else around you.
Captain Welton took his 46-man crew, and they went up to Los Angeles for the Festival of Sail up there. Yes. Well, that and everybody else in the world who's in the business of sailing. And so they went up and had a great time, and then they brought it back, and I just couldn't believe how beautiful it was to see coming in all the sails. And then I don't know if you know much about these rigs, these ships, but crews that work together, you can watch a ship and it's like a living creature. Yeah. And they came in on their full sail, and then bang, just like that, they all went into what they call disarray, I guess is a good word. And then whoosh, they're all tied up, and the yards are perfectly square. And then the captain brought it in, and he just point. Really, right there, huh? Absolutely. It's just, and the fact they had a full captain who was a Coast Guard riding along, because it's one of their first few runs after their. We're still working hard.
Typically in a sailboat, especially these types of boats, is all the way towards the back. There's a couple of reasons, and they all kind of make sense if you think about it. The first one is, although it seems like our visibility is terrible back here because the masts are in the way, right? It seems terrible. It's actually pretty good, because if I step aside, I can take a look at all the sails. I can see what's going on right from back here. I don't have to look behind me and say, oh, what are the sails doing? It's all right there in front of me. Plus, the safety of the crew and everybody aboard. If someone falls in the water and I'm back here, you can see it, right? I don't have to try to listen for somebody to fall in the water or something like that. Let's try to bring it back towards they have their own boat in Central America, and they go cruising down there. So sweet. It's in Guatemala right now, and they're getting ready to pack up the cold weather and spend a few months down there. So
have you done a lot of sailing down there?
Yeah, I go down every year, visit them for 2 or 3 weeks and hang out. I'll do a little backpacking and then meet up with them and do a little adventure. They cruise between Mexico, Belize, Honduras, and Guatemala. Those are their cruising grounds for the winter time.
Now this one is a special dedication to all the man them in Rikers Island. Cocotti and now the ranking man. Now Cocotti, come sing out!
Now here it is. This one just an illusion, coming straight to you from the one and only K-Kai boy. Alongside the one who for what we know. So check it.
The Atlantic Challenge, Tall Ships Atlantic Challenge, and that's actually taking part. It's starting in Europe, going to Africa. It's either Bermuda or the Bahamas, I forget which one, and then it'll be in Boston and Halifax, maybe, I don't know, but it's kind of like the whole Atlantic. It's going to be taking place in. Awesome. There's usually tall ship festivals like this.
Now here it is. This one just an illusion.
Lighthouse on it, but as they were building, it's supposed to be 3 stories high, cannon ports and everything, because they were also, this was like one of the wider points of the river. They couldn't defend the middle of the river where the boats were coming, because the cannons couldn't fire into the middle. Because they built this fort, it's supposed to be 3 stories high.
What was the name of the fort?
Fort Carroll. And it was Robert E. Lee's first engineering project.
Now this one is a special dedication.
Now here it is. This one just an illusion, coming straight to you from the one and only K-Kai boy. Alongside the one who for what we know. So check it.
Whoa.
Now this one is a special dedication